Yeah. Okay. Lama kunchu san la hyang sa lo. Do yen sem chen tham chi ji ji chen ji la pan zet to so. Susun du nga chen da che chin chen. Nyar son me pon shi wa jel la so. Sem chen tham de nyur de dang chen na tam ba nam jin ne ta tsar to so. Traditional way, according to Buddha's teachings, we should to say, in this world there's not existent even the single sentient beings without being our parents or the relative or closer to us. And those our families are wish very strong to be happy, but according to their own stupid, they do not know how to do the cause of the happiness, which is the 10 positive action. And also those sentient beings do not want any sufferings, but according their minds or the disturbing emotions, and how they to do or to abandon the cause of the suffering, which is the 10 negative actions. Like blind person lost in the middle of the desert, no guide. And this kind of poor sentient beings, they are not different than us. They are not apart from us. They are our parents, they are our children, they are our relative. And we should think to them and their situations, and to tell to us, and this time is a great opportunity. I'm obtained the human existence. I count good time and meet Buddha's teaching, and also enhance some spiritual friend. I have a good opportunity or facility, because in my environmental where I live, there is the complete all the Dharma infrastructures, there is existence. And if I do, I can do whatever I want to help to the sentient beings. And in this kind of place or this kind of situation, when we obtained, it is very rare to think about that, to hurry up, to be diligently in this single life to achieve liberation in order to help other sentient beings. This sort of attitude, it is the impossible when we be in the path of the liberation path. And in order to follow up the liberation path, and the path itself, of course, 3 sections of scripture, the many subject matter of the 3 training, the high realization, and that is the no differentiation. But followers to follow up this navigation system of 3 sections of scriptures, then there are different approaches a little bit different understand according to their own mental capacities. Therefore, there are the different class: Shavaka, Pachika Buddha, Mahayanas, and also you call the causal, resultant, so on. But now we choose to taken up the Mahayana path. Of course, Mahayana, we already understood that some Mahayana's path based their practitioners, of course, very brave heart. It is absolutely connected to the for boundless and conduct sixth transcendent, and also it is like coding the four boundless qualities, and their kind of numeral sentient beings thinking the numeral benefit, thinking of the multitask numeral benefit activities, and also it's themselves, they need to go under the any numeral hardships they want, they're doing, they will do. And the basic this attitude and conduct is not different. But of course there are some is maybe also insight based heroic attitude same. There are some different approaches, longer, more short, very sweet, fast way. But anyway, all those Mahayanas path in our text says practice the 10 positive action and the 4 boundless qualities already we studied, the 6 transcendent perfections. It is very important to study one by one, and 6 transcendent, each individual 6 transcendent has 6. 6 1 6. How many is become the 6 transcendent perfections? But in the 6 transcendent perfections, which one is most important? And we should need to learn. Of course, the 6 transcendent perfections more elaborated. The whole entire of the Bodhicharya Avatar text, it is explanation of 6 transcendent perfections. And according that, of course, talking about the conduct and the attitude, and maybe it is the 6 transcendent, and principally talking about the conduct and view, and also it's like a combined conduct and view, how it's corresponding. And when we establish the view, of course we are going to meditate on it, and then conduct to need support to the meditation about the views. And therefore, for example, 6 transcendent perfections are the more conduct aspect, and the view aspect, it is the wisdom. Transcendent perfections, the wisdom transcendent perfection is the principle of the 6 transcendent perfections. If not hence by the wisdom transcendent perfections to the other 5, 6 transcendent, they cannot get the name of the transcendent. one is wisdom transcendent perfections enhance the each individual 5 transcendent perfections, and then they receive the name, and then there's like kind of the become the perfections. And there is the example, these 6 transcendent perfections. Like you can take example like a queen. In a queen is like a, okay, queen is the queen. But if your queen is going in the street without her crown ornament, maybe nobody's don't recognize, just normal lady. And but her like kind of the extraordinary crown and the ornament or the cloth of the queen's wearing and sitting on the throne, then they call the queen, receive the name of the queen. And also there is another example. If, for example, some king want to be victorious, there is kind of the 4 commanders or the like kind of the soldiers, like horse rider and feet like workers, archers, and also it's like maybe soldier like kind of fighters. If without those are, of course, it is the king is not king. But if there's no king, those 4 surrounded, those hours cannot to make the kingdom or king. Like this, the 6 transcendent perfections, without wisdom transcendent perfections, they're like kind of no head, no principle. And the wisdom transcendent perfections, it's ornamented by the other 5 transcendent perfections. Then wisdom itself also become very arrogant, become the fantastic. Therefore, it is a principle are the wisdom transcendent, and but others like kind of surround. It's like more supporter. And of course, when we this perspective in the Buddha said is the wisdom is a goal before you practice any 6 transcendent. Wisdom need go with in the middle whatever you practice the 6 transcendent. Wisdom is goes after you finish it, any kind of 6 transcendent you practice. Therefore, wisdom transcendent perfection is the most important. And of course, someone is to give the explanations like coding the causalities. And like a wisdom treasury, the transcendent the wisdom transcendent perfections is the result of the transcendent perfection of the meditative concentrations. And like the cause, the first term become cause, second is the result. The explanation like coding the causalities. For example, someone has great generosities, and this person has such naturally automatically discipline. If someone has naturally generosity, sometimes there is the discipline, and also it's like the coding the generosity, discipline, and this person has automatically patience. And if this person has a patience, that means this person has automatically diligent. And if the diligent person has really meditative concentration automatically through the meditations, and then is naturally occurring is the wisdoms. Therefore, sometimes the six transcendent perfections explain coding the causalities, but also it's like what in the Mohan Rinpoche's the commentary of the last chapter, wisdom chapters, it says like kind of which is the important, which is the like kind of supporter. One is the principle, one other is like kind of the supporters. Like the transcendent perfection of the wisdoms all the times need to go each individual any kind of six transcendent perfections. And maybe you can to look more. Of course, you studied Buddha Avatara. Particularly if you studied the wisdom chapters, there's a lot of kind of talking about that. Okay, maybe this like this. And then it's the four concentrations. Four concentrations, it is like coding the meditative concentrations and related to the realm of the form, and then there another is like the formless states, and generally is the like kind of the place is the like coding the three realms: desire realms, form realms, formless realms. For example, like coding the our desire realms, and it's like our mind is more kind of busy, more kind of the agitation, and also more a little bit kind of the turmoil mind, and very kind of the disturbing emotions disturb to our desire realms minds. And through the 9 methods of the placings to establish the one-pointed mind of the desire realms, and that is the top of calming mind, like cool mind, or it is like sheltered mind in the desire realms. Of course, we already like diminish it, not completely, but like a kind of to stop in order to increase disturbing emotions, and mind more kind of the calm seat, and to easy meditations. And then it's like we are example of the form realms, and then there is like a kind of the 6 meditative concentration, 8 meditative concentration, and 9 levels of the kind of the realms like this. And then it's like what already we studied kind of there is the first preparation. That means it's like you are almost at mind to be the level of the first dhyanas, and then is the second is maybe you enter into the dhyanas level of the mind, and then it's like your mind is become the spatial. Why? Because it's like you are really the level of the first the dhyanas like mind, and then is the also second preparation enterings in the really actually inside, third, fourth, fifth enter like this. Then it's like of course is the formless dharmas. It is the extreme the meditative absorption, and it's a little bit kind of the too much. There is like kind of the nothingness of the consciousness, nothingness of the nothingness, nothingness of the consciousness. Looks like it's like space, and then it's like kind of the kind of the limitless, nothing kind of the last arhat. So the kind of the result. But in the Bodhisattva's perspective, when you look at the 37 practice of the Bodhisattvas, and Zume Yele Yon Don Dipa is something gone by Jarsi Lamna, yes? Maybe you can look the 37 practice of the Bodhisattvas in the sixth transcendent, and the fifth one is like talking about the concentration, meditative concentrations. And it says that go beyond the formless realms, you should establish the perfect, the samandise. And that is, there's many kind of the questions, kind of talking, and the formless realms, it is not the kind of the supporter of your meditation, because it's like a formless realms mind. If you become in this kind of state, maybe it's like too much absorptions, and then it's like maybe more kind of the obscure, and it is like kind of final result is maybe you become the arhat, but it's like a kind of the procedures or proceed, how do you say last time says, residues kind of the arhat. You need to return, come back, and therefore best like kind of the supporter meditation, it is the four concentrations, four dhyānas, and rely on this state minders, and then it's like we can to establish our mind perfectly. And like this, then is these coding exercises. Maybe it's like kind of the when you look at the path of the seeings. In the path of the seeings, there is the normally we need to abandon 112 kind of numbers of we should to abandon it. But this is like not kind of the 1 2 312. It is according they're like kind of the desire realms, according the four like concentrations realms. And there is like kind of the basic, maybe is the 5 wrong view, and also 5 kind of the subs wrong views. And in this 10 maybe negative things, it can make obstacle your meditative concentrations, and making the like kind of the agitation, dullness, and if this kind of the occurring into your mind, snatch your mind away, or it's like kind of the lot of bring back in the past like experience, and sometimes invited a lot on the future planned. And in this perspective, then this 4 like 10 some negative, there is a kind of the obstacles we should to abandon. And then it's like according that, for example, maybe in the desire elements, the fully of this 10 these negative obscurators, but in the according the 4 concentrations, maybe there are, and something is lesser, and also in the form lesser elements more lesser, and maybe in the amount of the 10 maybe 7 or 8, and then you can to look at that this maybe another like kind of the chapters or the commentaries. Maybe you can to look at the Abhisamaya Lonkaras, and there is the, but this is a little bit making the confusion. It's quite very much nice detail. Of course it is very important, but more easily to look kind of the how do we say is more desire realm, the one point of the mind is desire realms, and then it's like of course, according to this meditation, he said the four concentration form these four formless, and from the shavaka, from the shavaka's button until this kind of luminous thing, great perfection, wisdoms, and there is like kind of comparisons. But each individual there's comparison, but the sound is each time they talking about the four concentration meditation, concentrations, four formless. But of course, the meaning is the maybe different. For example, the Shavakas talking about the level of the four concentration, four formless. Maybe it's like based the level of this. Maybe the Vajrayanas, the how to say Mahayanas more, and even the Vajrayanas, that maybe it's like comparison. This four concentration, four formless, but much higher, and absolutely more higher, and like this formless states, then it's staying calm and the profound inside. That is the most very important. Staying it calm, calm abiding, and this principle we are practicing, calm and abiding, from like the profound inside. You can to say the spatial sign, the seeing the inside. Maybe it's like of course based at the beginning when we are apply the 9 methods of the placings. That is the meditation. We can to say staying it calm, or the calm and abiding. But of course, same time as we are practice this unification of the calm abiding and the vipassanam. Maybe it's like vipassanam or shamanta vipassanam. And shamanta means it's like kind of the like calm and abiding. And without meditation, there's no liberations, because it's the liberations occurring into our minds. And in order to mind receive or achieve the liberations, we should to meditate. The meaning of the meditation is the combination or the indivisibility of the sustained calm and the profound insight. And each like kind of the perspective practice. It doesn't matter when you are practice 10 positive actions. Also, you are connected to the sustained calm and profound insight. And when you practice 10 positive actions, all the 4 boundless qualities also connect to the sustained calm and profound insight. When you are practice the 6 transcendent perfections, also exactly the connect to the sustained calm and profound insight. And of course, the 4 concentration and 4 formless state meditations all the times connect to the sustained calm and profound inside us. And through the sustained calms and realize that the essence nature of the realities and the profound insight, we see the movement of the all the luminosity aspect. We are acting according and this unmistaken system of the luminosity aspect, and everything is a functional result like thing, and nothing can be interrupted, and therefore this combined this sustained calm and profound inside us, and then is we need to realize that the is the nature of the realities to be the liberations. Therefore, it is the very important. Of course, sustained calm is connected to the view. Sustained calm in the samantha or the like kind of interpretation needs. For example, in the Patrul Rinpoche's the hard treasures, when you are the analyze the relative realities, and you found something that the essence nature of the relative realities, and then you understood something there is a kind of dualistic turmoils, and you become the more calm and the pacified something your mind is, and then it's like you maintain one pointedness of this like kind of the essence nature realities, and you establish the absolute truth. And also it says that in the maintain the calm abiding, or the maintain the shani, calm and settled in the state of the absolute truth. You can to watch how, or that you can to work with the relative movement, or the relate to the causalities and rebirth. This uninterruption is there, like kind of the appearing, arising, everything is, but you do not need to abandon, you don't need to any adopt it, make a joke, I don't know it. And in this perspective, you made the unification, or the one pointedness, or the single point, which is the unification of the true truth. And that is in this text says, that is the unification of the sustained calm and the profound inside it. And during your samantha meditation of the shani, or the karma abidings, when you practice karma abiding, and it's like you maintain the principle the minders, and your principle minders, it take the itself place, and it's nothing kind of take something else, the like kind of the chair, and the principle minders, and itself has natural, automatic, spontaneous, and itself has chair, itself has maintain, itself has the features. To maintain itself is become the great equanimities, and that is the sustained calm. And that perspective, everything is the peaceful and coolness, free from the dangerous thoughts of the any samsaric, dualistic, improper conceptions. And that is we call the sustained calm. And at the same time is your inner five faculties very clearly, very functional, nothing interrupted. And also it's like the according to the five and the faculties received the five object of the desirables very much clearly, nothing mixed, yellow, blue, green, triangle, square, and big, small, nothing mixed. And the kind of the five faculties are the equal, nothing kind of the miss, nothing lesser or etc. Everything is the normal. And also it's like five object desirables uninterruptedly appearing. But your principal mind is to take, or to take the seat itself, the like kind of the selted itself, and place it itself. That is the sustained calm and the profound insight. And this is like we need to really want to practice. Of course, we need to talk a lot of things. For example, maybe it's like yesterday, and we are talking about there is it is the ritual fasting. Yesterday in the Mahayanas, it's a little bit how do we say, it's conduct. And of course in the Mahayanas there is like kind of the 80 unexhaustible like the Mahayanas path, of course, could perfectly connect to the like a sustained, calm and profound insight. And also it's like we can to say according the Buddha's teaching, the three Pitakas, and Vinaya Pitaka, Sutayana Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitakas. And those Pitakas is talking about the fully sustained calm and the profound insight. And also this we look at the subject matter to retraining of the higher realizations, like connect to the discipline and samadhi and the wisdoms, and all this, even the kind of the we talking about yesterday, there is the Mahayanas, the 7 sets of the Vinayanas, or sometimes 8 sets of the Vinayanas, the Patimokkha's discipline. It is Vinayanas, according the maybe. And yesterday we counted there's 8 or 7. Maybe in the Dzogchen Rinpoche's book there is talking about 7, yes, not talking about 8. But sometimes there is talking about 8 or at the 7. Can you find that? Huh? Seven sets of the Patimokkha's vow. I think I remember 7 sets of the Patimokkha's vow. And you can to say also the 8 the sections or sets of Patimokkha's vows, and that is you can to very easily Gether, Gelong, Genyen. This each one's the pair 2, 2, 6, yes. And then it's the beginner, like kind of the Genyin. It's like for lay persons. Just maybe it's like 1 discipline, 2 discipline, and like Gewanyenba. There's before that there's Gewanyenba is really is like kind of they need to take something. That like the first I think is lay persons. And they can to take, you can take 1 or 2 or 3 like this. I think that is a okay. That is like maybe we can to say is the Genyan lay person. Also maybe we can to say 2. Gesel is 2, and Gelon is 2, 6. Then there is a specific one vow is a Gelu message, and that is the female. And then it's become the 7, and then there is the 8th one is yesterday we called the ritual fasting. Ritual fasting, it is taking vows maybe 2 days. That's then it's become the 8. Okay, that is like kind of the we talking about Mahayana's conduct. And also yesterday we talking about these Triya Yogas. Already we finished it. And also we now is talking about the Charya Yogas. Charya Yogas, how it is a kind of the in the our text says, vehicle of the Charya Yogas. Charya is like more Charya means it's the activities. Conduct center means is the so-called because it's the place in equal emphasize on the outer action of the body and speech. They like kind of the Triya Yogas, like actions, Charya Yoga. And the 10 centers, the inner cultivation of the samadhi, it is also called the center of the both, like a kind of like a upper yoga, or what to say it? Upper tantra. Because the view is confirmed with that of the yoga tantra. It's like kind of the Charya Yoga's view is the more higher than the Triya Yogas. But the Charya Yoga's conduct activity, it is like same as the Triya Yoga, but view is connected to the Yoga Tantras, which this is the conduct. It is the similar to the that of the Triya Yoga, make the kind of the more clean, to like make the take shower per day 3 times, changing clothes, so on, so more clean Triya Yogas. And then is we can to say is like also they say a little bit about the entry point view, meditation conduct result. It's the wonderful things. And the one is the matured by the means of the empowerment, maybe empowerment, which included the empowerment of the Vajja. Before it's like water and a crown, and these Triya Yogas. It can make the result of the Dharmakaya and the Sambhoga, the Rupakayas. And you receive the true empowerment, water empowerment, and the crown empowerment, and also third one, yes, no? And then it's like you have the seed of the like 3, the result is like 3 families, yes? Which one are? Beruchana, Amitabha, Ashobi, yes? Okay, Ashobi. Huh? Ashobia. Okay. Now it is the Charya Yogas. Charya Yogas, it is the look, it's the 5 empowerment, which included the empowerment of the Vajja, bell, and the name, in the addition to the water and the crown empowerment. This is like a kind of 5 empowerment and common in the 5 Buddha families, you can to say. And this is the kind of the Charya, the Charya Yogas. Charya Yogas, okay? If you received in the futures, when you receive the empowerment, and like first times you kind of wash your mouth, and this is like in order to take out the poison that in your contain of the body, speech, minds, like the clean by deity of the Vajrasattva, or there's the very strong cleaner of a deity, is like a Hayandrava, or another there's, is we put in the active vast on there's the 2 deities different. And also it's like it's very important to about Chopin's, how you can to put coding in this empowerment. Empowerment is when you make the lamas give empowerment, you need all the times set the true mandalas. One is the principal mandala, is called the Yaj, and like the principal Toma, Poja, Moja, Chitotema, and then is a wrathful, this peaceful offering, wrathful offering, man, Raktas, so on. And then it's like the principle, this like the mandala, empowerment mandala in the front of theirs. There's like kind of the very elaborate some goods. They make the settle mandala by the sand, or maybe you need drawing mandalas. At least you need to put 5, like a kind of tsamba, means like pipes of the by rice or barleys, like kind of the 2 pile of the rice in the middle, and the 4 directions. This is the like kind of principal based deity of the 5 Buddha families. Then on that is like kind of the very simple mandala image, like maybe high realizations. Maybe you almost don't need this enough. No need to set sand metal. You don't need to drawing things. Just a symbolic this. But of course, these days, modern many lamas they doing like this. Difficult to have sand mandala, or it is difficult to how do you say? It's like a drawing things there. But now it's more easy drawing. We can to sand mandala, make a picture. Then it's like make painting nice to put there, and according to any kind of each kind of deity's empowerment. And also it's like maybe you should to know about like which empowerment: outer tantra's empowerment, inner tantra's empowerment, or like this. And last time is we pointing out that there is one authentic teaching of the 9 kind of the volumes we call the Kamma. It is like Buddha's like authentic teachings. We talking about the mind lineages and symbolic lineages and hearing lineages. And according that is like kind of the mind lineage and the symbolic lineages is like authentic lineages, Mantrayanas lineages. And then it's the hearing lineage is the more in the suttas perspective, like causal teachings. There's not really much kind of the empowerment. It's absolutely like kind of according the Sutayanas. In the Sutayanas, the perspective empowerment, maybe the empowerment means is like kind of the vatalize, or like kind of the prayers, and like kind of the enthronement. Like it says, now you are the like reach the any kind of levels. Then it's now that you are the become the guide of the 4 sentient beings, like a kind of the like initiation of we say is like to make the atonement of the teacher, representative of the Buddha, and the principle of the like kind of the Sangha's disciples. And this sort of like general common, for example, in our language perspective, like that is the empowerment. For example, king give empowerment to empower, so empowerment to the son or the next successors. Says like give a power, give like make a throne, crown, everything. And here is not like this. It's like kind of the maturation empowerment. Say. And it's this mandalas to settle the mandalas, and then it's like there's like a kind of the consecration and the preparations by the Mantrayanas masters through the samadhi, through the deities, and through the power realization of the Mantrayan masters. And children need to settle the offering like altar. And then is the mandala, of course, is like the outer, like according to Triya, Charya, yogas, and we cannot make mixed. There's not maybe a representative of the mandalas. Maybe it's like sometimes they make something like a kind of the 8 or 5. Something is like the lotus, like petal, but not really. But each individual deities, each individual according to tantras, you have a mandala. And then you settle in the real mandala. Maybe you have a sand mandala, maybe you have the picture mandalas. Then during the most important, there's substantials in the mandalas is the principal vase. Principal vase is the most important. Why it is the principal vase? The vast itself is the mandalas. Sometimes vast is the palace of the deities. The Vajramasters invite invocations, all the whoever dwells in the natural space, Dharma, that natural space. Those wisdom deities invited into this vase, and then it's like blessings collect into this vase. And also you should to think about vase. Inside you need to substantial like kind of the medicines, and like a kind of the like a common like 6 centers. There's the 25 substantials like kind of the medicine. You should to find collected this like 25 medicine, like special kind of collective medicine, and this is the only the outer centers, and then it's like a top of that I think the 30 or 35, and this is the supreme center, inner centers, and you never mix it. And also sometimes you have the for the vast dharma medicine, you call just dharma medicine. It's like zi is the substantial, bumzi in Tibet you call that bumzi. Principle is the sufferings, but then inside there is added. And make joke when I offered, and I never put I have reason only the sufferings. It's change only the water. Of course we put in the vase mineral water, and then it's the water is yellow. That's all. For example, in our westerns, sometimes it's like if really we have a lot of doubt. I often to say is when you offer this vase water, someone's like really very kindly but cannot drink, they put in here, and maybe it's benefit, but it's like kind of drink and put here, and then it looks like drink, and then have doubts. In this case I'm saying this vase is make joke, I'm say explain this vase is maybe made of silver, gold, a couple, it's like this. The inner water is mineral water, nothing, only substance, like the sufferings you can drink is no problem, 100% not damage your health. If there is a blessing, is a blessing. No blessing, no blessing. Sorry, like this. Maybe in the big kind of the lama's empowerment, like if you are really to entered to the Buddha's path, you know about the meaning of the authentic, you should to drink. Very, very important. And this collection of the Dharma medicine also the great masters. It's like how it is the benefit. It is like kind of same as we are eating medicine. And in the medicine, lot of substantial control. For example, if says in the Tibetan code in the medicines, there's like 15, 20, 25, 30. Like most one is 80, like this. And this kind of collect herb, many herbs, like measured, collected, then put together. It's very good for some sickness. It's same as the Westerns is also like they connected. And then when you eat these medicines and then spread this medicine go to all over the body, and then it's like a kind of the antidote for the sickness. And in the Dharma medicine, in the vase, in the comes from mandalas, when you drink, of course, it's a body related to your mind. And then body is like inner something transformative way. It's like this, it's influence to the mind. Like for example, if we can do like a drunk, okay? When we drink, it's maybe not mind drink by the body. This alcohol is 100% going to direct into the mind. Not. It's like kind of this two materials is coming together. It's something like alcohol is the materials going into the body and so go into different channels. It's kind of the toxicated and to become the various. This influence into the mind. Mind is like kind of hallucination. Mind is like it's very thin. Exactly the similarity may be very bad example, but it is like a kind of this substantial going into our body. It's a kind of transform. It's through the body. It's like affect to the mind, And therefore it's very important. Vase is prepared and chopens. Very, very, very important to clean up and to put correctly and suffering and this. For example, some chopens forgot it to put before setting the mandalas, and then certainly the Vajra masters, and during the Vajra master preparations forgot it, and then the start empowerment. Could you give me principal vase? Bring the empty and put. Oh, I forgot it. And then you are like kind of on the jaws. You have this water. You put inside. Very bad, because it's like this water is no blessed, and therefore it's like chopens is immediately inside the clean or vase to taking care. And also vase is like kind of the top of there is the cushy grass, and the peacock, this kind of the ornament. It is also there's explanations. It's very, very important, and everything. And also normally in the neck of the vase there is like some like a piece of the cotton. We put a kada, and the principle like the vase. You should think about the principal deities. Maybe you as like a Rinzundupa. Maybe you can do principal vase and the neck and the neck of the vase. You tidy up. It's like maybe white or blue. It's a white because Rinzundupa's color is white, and then it's the active vase. You put the blue. Normally it's like lot of they put the blue. Okay. And this is very much according. For example, if you giving empowerment, maybe amataya, the the body colors red, then you need to put red kada. For example, tara, maybe green tara or white tara. And this very important. Chopins need know. Of course, not only chopins, any practitioners. And then you put in the middle, there is the mandal, the vase. That is the first. And then in the in the mandalas. This is the like principle, these vows. Normally is the empowerment is corresponding the body, speech, mind, and qualities and activities. This all the times connect the five: body, speech, mind, quality, and activities. And this is like a vase is all the time is connect to the body. Wonderful. And then second, you should to think about speech. It's armanta. We have in the Kapala, and to put the this is normally you need. I mean, it's a very important. Maybe red wine, and also it's like in Tibet sometimes we put milk, and also it's like it's better to some. It's like armantas. You can to say it's like some alcohols. We need to more taste. The inside there's maybe you should only Dharma medicine. General Dharma medicine is not kind of the vast medicine. Okay, this Dharma medicine a little bit put. That is the most important. And that one is we put in the left side or right side of the vase. Do you remember? Left side. Okay. Left side of the vase, and then right side. Maybe there is we put most times crystal, and crystal is the representative of the mind, and these three are the quite very important. And then behind there is maybe normally torma. Okay, torma empowerment. Sometimes you need specific torma. And front is all the deities, like you have a picture, maybe Kalni Shutros, there's 100 pictures, the Tsagli we call that. You put, that is the principles, okay? And then they of course surround, and you need to one set. It's like all the times it's the maybe same. You can't say wrathful or peaceful. like kind of the Choyan Agampatong Pipi de Valanganevte. Choyan Shasar Meto Dupe Mametachat. Front there is the water, and in the corner there is a how do you say eastern northeastern? Oh yes, southeastern is water, south is the rice, and western eastern is rice, and the western is the battle, like battle lamp, and then is northeastern is water, north is rice, and the eastern east is like kind of the water say rice, and you put conch and zontok dorje on it. And this is very simple mandalas. You set it, and that is the most important. Now it is like the inside the empowerment. We talking about there's the 5, and Triya yogas. Maybe you don't need much. What it is need? You need vas and one like kind of tsal. This is one tsal. Is the I think is kron tsal, and because in the Triya tenters is water empowerment. It is the you offer to the Vajra master is the peacock leather of the vase, and then it's like just to throw out the water is water empowerment. And second is a crown empowerment. There is a crown picture, you see. When you look at the 5 Buddha families empowerment, 4 pictures included water, and that is the you remember this 5. The water is a representative the Berotana, crown is the representative of the Vajrasattva, and then it's like the Vajra is the maybe Pema, like a kind of how do you say? No, Vajra is like more. It's a Rena Sambhava. Maybe Bell is like more is the Pema Sambhava, and how do you say? It's like the name. It is the more karma, like how do you say? Sabha. That sounds good, difficult. Or maybe it's like the Vajrasattva family, Rena family, and the Pema family, and it's like kind of karma families, you can to say. Like therefore now you understand the Koran, like first water, then is a crown in the Vajra family, and then it's like Vajra, it is the Rena family. No, this is the Bell empowerment included the empowerment of the Vajra Bell. Yes, then the Bell is the Pema family. The name is you look at the pictures very easily. Crown, there is a crown, and Vajra is exactly the Vajra. Bell is only the Bell, and name is the empowerment. You can look in the picture. There is Vajra and Bell crossed that, and a cross like this, both Vajra and Bell. And also sometimes after the name means it's like you receive the secret name, and therefore it is like the name. And tradition to the water, etc. Matured the Samaya of the Charyatentas. Of course, according to the Samaya of the Charyatentas, there is, and maybe it's like we need to look at others. Each the tantras has different samayas, and the describe in the particularly text themselves. Oh yes, very good. Just and then is the view is the determined in the same way as the yoga tantra. Absolutely. And because we say the Charya Yoga conduct is the same as Tantra Yoga, and the view is the Yoga Tantra. Therefore, they establish the Yoga Tantras. So it will be explained below down. Meditation is, as they say, and the visualize oneself as the Samaya being, and visualize the wisdom deity who is the regard as the friend in the front of oneself, and then practice the conceptual meditations on the syllable, Muda, and the form of the deity, and the non-conceptual meditation and absolute bodhicitta by means of the entering, remain the arousings. And this is like a kind of the and characteristic meditation is the Muda, and like then there's like different three type of the deities, Riksam Sechen, and then it's like a no characteristics to maintain absolute bodhicitta, like kind of the maybe, and more is like to thinking about the natural realities. And the conduct is very easy. It says conduct here the same is the Triya Tantras. Like this, we are not really read properly this Triya Yoga, but of course you can to read properly. Charya Yoga we read very well, and the Charya Yoga's result is that like terms one attain the common accomplishment, the ultimately the reach the level of the Vijaydhara, the four like Buddha families, etc. So the three mentioned like early Bulu, the Tantra families, and this is like here is the three like levels, and this is like then three families you added, then is the first means the Triya Yogas, this Biruchanas, and this date is added, then is like a Yodurjin, and the four Buddha of the families, and this is like the ultimate like kind of the result. And also is a Suta's perspective, when we are liberated we call the perfect Buddhahood, and in the Mantrayanas, when we be enlightenment, what we call, you remember, I think it's Vijaydhara. Okay, Vijaydhara. Now it's like talking about more Vijaydhara's level, and it's like, and also it's like the Mantrayanas path and bhumis is according the four Vijaydharas, like maturation Vijaydhara, long life Vijaydhara, Mahamuda's Vijaydhara, spontaneous present Vijaydhara, so on. Maybe it is the coffee time is already, yes? Okay, half an hour. When is we start? Huh? Quarter to 10. Quarter to 11. Okay. Quarter to 11.